Hello and welcome to Vision Economics Academy. This is Sir Shivankar and we are continuing the Class 12 series of Mission CBSE. So, as we have already covered the first two chapters, we are continuing with the third chapter, and the third chapter is National Income and Related Aggregates. Okay, so here we will look at different concepts that's again going to be useful in further chapters, right? So without further ado, I'll start with GDP MP. GDP, which we have heard many times on the news, on the newspaper, people while conversing, right? Teachers while teaching. So what is GDP? So GDP, see, I have highlighted or underlined the keywords. Okay, that's gonna be same or that's gonna change at points. So you will understand as I continue. So gross domestic product at market prices. Now I've already explained the difference between the market price and the factor cost. What is included in the market price, what is included in the factor cost has already been discussed in the previous episode. So GDPMP is gross market value of all final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country during a period of 1 year. So we are considering period of 1 year, and in that the gross market value, okay, it is market value is the value at which it is sold in the market, it's available in the market. So it's a gross market value of all final goods and services produced within the domestic territory. Now this domestic territory has already been discussed in the last class. Domestic territory and political territory are the two different concepts. Okay, then GDPFC. Now, as I've already told you in the previous episode as to what is the difference between GDP MP and GDP FC. Okay. So now GDP FC, gross domestic product at factor cost. Now we have already discussed this in the previous class as to what is the difference between market price and the factor cost, right? So I will not touch into that. Now the changes I have marked here in the with the yellow color. Sorry. Now the changes I have marked here with the green color. Now GDPFC is gross money value. Okay, see, the previous one was the market value. This one is the money value. Now factor cost means, in a very simplistic manner, it's the cost that is incurred or cost that was beared, you know, while preparing or while making that product in the factory, right? So here the tax, the subsidies are not included. So it's a gross money value of final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country in the 1 year, okay, in the period of 1 year. Now we'll continue with the domestic concepts. Now comes the net domestic concepts. The only change here is net. Others are all same. Market price is there, so it's a market value, right? Here the only change is net. Okay. All right. So from GDPMP, if we want to derive NDPMP, now from gross to net, it is always minus depreciation. So GDPMP minus depreciation would give us NDPMP. All right. Now, NDPFC is again net money value. The difference is money value here, right? Whenever there is factor cost, there is money value. Whenever there is market price, there is market value. So net money value of all the final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country during a period of 1 year is net domestic product at factor cost. Now there is only few words that has been changing. Rather than other than that, everything is same, right? The only thing we need to know is that when there is FC, we write money value. When there is MP, we write market value, right? And so the four domestic concepts that we have basically discussed, and the relationship between the four concepts we will discuss. Like for example, we started with GDP MP, right? Now from GDP MP, if we want to uh, take out the, if we want to get NDP FC, from GDP MP, if we want to get NDP FC, now from gross to net, we have to deduct depreciation, right? We have to deduct depreciation. So this G got transformed into N, right? Now from market price to factor cost is minus net indirect taxes, that is indirect tax minus subsidy. Okay, therefore GDP MP minus depreciation minus net indirect taxes will give us NDP FC. All right. Okay. Now from gross to net is always minus depreciation. From factor cost to market price, from factor cost to market price, now here we have to add net indirect taxes, right? From MP to FC we deduct, from FC to MP we add. All right, so in the same manner, from net to gross we need to add depreciation. Okay, so from GDP MP, if we want NDP MP, is just minus depreciation, which will give us net. Okay, all right. Now gross national product at market price. Now these are all the national concept. Okay, now till the last section it was domestic, now it is a national. Now what is national? GNP MP. GNP NP is gross market value of all the final goods and services produced by normal residents. So this does not mean whether you are producing within the domestic territory or not. Any normal resident producing from any part, right, will come into national product. Okay, so the difference is gross market value and normal resident. Now GNPFC, again gross, since here factor cost is there, so money value in market price, it's market value. So gross money value of all the final goods and services produced by the normal residents of the country during a period of 1 year. Now, what has changed? This one. So again, from gross to net is obviously we have deducted depreciation, right? Now, NNP-MP is net market value of all the final goods and services. Net market value of all the final goods and services produced by the normal residents of a country during a period of 1 year. Then finally, NNP-FC, net money value, right? NNP-FC is also national income. Okay, so NNPFC is also national income. Net national product at factor cost is the net money value of all the final goods and services produced by the normal residents of a country during a period of 1 year. Now let us look into the relationship of between the four national concepts. Let us start from GNPMP. From GNPMP to GNPFC is nothing but minus net indirect taxes, that is indirect tax minus subsidy. Now GNPFC to NNPFC, gross minus depreciation will give you NNPFC. Okay, so previously we had NDPFC in the domestic concepts. From domestic to national, from domestic to national is we have to add net factor income from abroad. Okay, all right. So net factor income from abroad is net factor income from abroad minus net factor income to abroad. So whatever income has been earned from the foreign and been sent back to the domestic country, that's called net factor income from abroad. And whatever the foreigners or the people who are not a part of this country through various means and sources have earned and sending the money to their respective parent country is net factor income to abroad. Okay, so these are some of the concepts, four domestic concepts and four national concepts of national income, right? So we have discussed about all these concepts, and we have also discussed as to how to derive or what is the relationship between these concepts. Okay, all right. Here one thing to note is that NNPFC is national income and NDPFC is domestic income. Okay, so this much for today's episode. Next episode will be for chapter number 4, and we will be solving the numericals as well of the national income and related aggregates. Okay, till then, be safe, Be happy. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. And thank you for all the support. Namaskar.